have some freedom. What you really want is some kind of stability. And our opponents, at least in American politics, Republicans and Democrats, those kids at those college meetings that I was going to, what they're selling is sexy. They're selling legislation. They're selling control. They're selling regulations over things that scare you. And we are selling the idea that the Hobbit should travel all the way across Mordor with the ring, nearly get killed a bunch of times, and struggle, and probably have fewer friends than if they would just join a side in the battle between one side and the other. It's actually a really, really hard journey that we're investing in and asking people to go on with us. And you know this, like when our opponents are out there talking to people, they are selling them the idea that through us, eventually things will be okay and a little bit more calm. And it kind of takes me back to the Death Star a little bit, because again, taking the ring, wielding the Death Star against people that we don't like or ideas that we don't like is just a lot easier. It's a lot more simple. But we know that it doesn't work, and that's what makes us different. We know that when the Empire uses the Death Star against Alderaan, it actually makes the rebellion stronger than it ever was before. You see this particularly like in the Rogue One movie. You have factions of the rebellion. They can't unite around how to fight against the fascism of that empire. And so they blow up this planet, and now the rebellion's like, this is a life or death situation. We're going to die and lose all of our freedom unless we stand up, and they unite. More people join the rebellion. More people fight back. And you know this to be true. Like when people win elections, when they finally get control of the bureaucracy, when they're finally able to enact their control freak and fund police tendencies and force ideas and legislation down on people, shove it down their throats, there's a backlash. It might take a while, but there will always be a backlash. And freedom demands that there be a backlash. And we generally just try to avoid that situation altogether by letting people live the lives that they would like to live. What you learn from stories like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings is that the desire for control is incredibly natural. There are areas in your own private life, in mine, where you probably don't live out libertarian or liberal principles in every single way, because there are always instances where we can convince ourselves that a little bit more power would be beneficial. But I ask you just to remember, as you leave this conference and go back to your lives, that while you may have plans for power, it always has plans for you too. And so what are you going to do with that? Take the ring. I propose you give it away. Thank you.